Well, yeah, good to see you again.
See you.
Okay, we're the same. You put on your seatbelt.
Yes.
And they say
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
fly high this
fly,
time.
fly high and fly in. That's one of the great things. Hashem created us in such a way that, that whatever we know about our own selves
Mhm.
is a microcosm of what's going on in all the worlds. And so sometimes to be able to really know what's going on about ourselves, so see this, we would explain what's going on in the higher worlds. So that we ourselves be able to understand actually how it is by us. And then works the other way around. That by we can affect the world by understanding how the our world works. Also it has effect on the outside also. Okay, so now we're starting chapter number 386. And the wonderful hymnship is called Ein Beis. And it begins out every time that we're going to talk about something Hasidus. So it goes from the Parsha to Parsha. And since the Hasidus is the inner part of the Torah, so it always fits in somehow to questions which you can ask on the Parsha. So therefore, at the beginning, we're going to ask each time questions of the Parsha. Then we'll get into Hasidus. And then it takes a little while till we get to the answers. Okay. So now we're starting Parshas Vayikash. At the beginning, it says over there, it says that Yehuda approaches Yosef Tzaddik, and this is after the whole process of Yosef putting the golden goblet by Binyamin and
Testing her brothers.
testing the brothers, and so Yehuda comes to in front of Yosef Tzaddik with all the unbelievable inner powers that would do such a thing. And he says to him, he says, if you please, my commander, my lord, I, can I speak? Can I speak to you? And then afterwards again, he says, please don't get upset. So we asked the question that the please don't get upset should have been at the beginning before he starts that. So why is it this? What is this concept? He was called Bia.
The phrasing, yeah.
Okay. So then also the question that arises, he says that if why should you take Binyamin? Take me, I'm better. So why is it that he's telling himself as a better slave? What is it in Yehuda that he has that the Binyamin doesn't have? Also, we know that in terms of what is going on in the Parsha, that in the Gemara we also learn there's a concept of when before we daven Shmona Esrei, we have to have Gaal Israel, right? We're supposed to put Gaal Israel together with Shmona Esrei. It's called Lesmoch Mula the Tefillah. Okay, so therefore it makes sense that whatever is with the concept of Gula should be before the concept of Tefillah. So in terms of this spiritual background, what's going on, Yosef Tzaddik is the Darga of Gula, because he's quite the concept of Yisod, and he's the one that gives over, and the concept of Tefillah is Malchus, kingship, and Yehuda is kingship, because all the kingship comes from Yehuda. So here we have the opposite, that instead of Yosef going to Yehuda, Yehuda is going to Yosef, and this is called the concept of the smoke gula tefillah. This is one of the concept was going on, but of course it looks like it's opposite. Okay, have to understand this. Okay, so I get into this. We will continue what we began the previous mimer, that so to speak, the creator wants to have a opportunity to be able to have a home in the lower worlds. As this is what it says that it's called netaver. He had a desire to have a dwelling place in the lower worlds. Okay, this is about up the Kabbalah, and even there are different reasons why the creator created the world, but this is so to speak because it's called the fifth reason, highest reason, that he wanted a dwelling place in the lower worlds. To be able to have a dwelling place in the lower worlds, it has to have a nation to receive it. And so therefore, it has to be what's called a contraction of the infinite light. And we spoke of the difference that there's what's called the retraction of the light to its source to be able to allow the infinite light to have a place to be able to be revealed. And then there's the ray which is brought down, goes through the potential for limitation, which is called the Rishimo. And there, afterwards, in each level, there is revelations and reductions until it comes to the level of the world of Atzilus. And in the world that level of Atzilus, you have now a concept of Adam, and what's called Adam Elyion. What do you mean Adam? We say person is a person here, but what is the translation in terms of concept? The areas of revelation in the world of Atzilus of 10 different what we call them Sfirot. And these are the vessels that afterwards can be a continuation to the lower worlds. In other words, so to speak, the lowest spiritual highest worlds come to revelation in the world of Atzilus. And then from Atzilus, there is a sort of a separation through the concept of the Malchus, of the kingship. And afterwards, there can be lower worlds that they feel themselves a separate entity. Okay? So in other words, in the world of Atzilus, there's no feeling of separateness. It's not possible something like why? Because there the infinite light of Hashem is still felt. After the world of Atzilus, from down, we begin the possibility there should be, after the more levels, there should be a physical world. The physical world here, we feel as though that it is always here, and it's something that feels that it's almost independent. And this is the place where the Creator wants to make a dwelling place. And this is where we're here to prepare and make this place a place that the Creator can reveal Himself here. Even though he can do whatever He wants, there's nothing stopping Him, but He wants that we should do the work. That's His desire. So therefore, we have to have, it wants to be able to get to the concept that the physical world should be able to have it should be a vessel to reveal. So we have two concepts. We have the concept of light, which when we use the word light, it's only an example, because light is a sort of the only kind of thing you can explain that it's a revelation, because we see light, and we see light spreads out everywhere. So too, say we have to have this concept of light, and then we have to have a concept of vessels. Okay, so in other words, light is going to mean, in terms of what we're dealing with, that it's constantly connected to its source, right? When we see the sun, we see light from here. We know it comes from the sun. So too, in terms of what we're dealing with, the light is going to transmit the message that there's nothing else but the Creator. Okay? That's where the message is going to come across in terms of just thinking of revelation, right? The vessel is going to be something that it feels itself a separate entity, and it will be able to receive the light in itself, as we spoke in the first chapters, that the light to be able to be revealed in a vessel has to be light which can be revealed in the vessel, because there could be light which is not possible to be revealed in the vessel, as we spoke that there's what's called the Sove. There's different levels that they're not possible to be revealed because they're not yet, so to speak, enough reduced to be able to be revealed in a vessel. Okay, so we have the light which is connected to its source, from its source where it's coming to, that there is felt as nothing but the Creator, and we have the vessel. The vessel is a creation that now will be able to receive this light, and therefore in the vessel we can also have a self nullification of the vessel. Okay, so these are going to two concepts. The light is going to call the light, and its source is called the Vekut. It's feeling stuck on in such a way that it only feels the truth that there's nothing else but the Creator. And then we're going to have a concept of what's called Hiskadlus. Hiskadlus means that there's something there, but it is not a separate entity. Okay, an example is if you have someone who is a person who knows how to study, deals with wisdom, and he comes close to a person who's very, very wise. So a very, very wise person, as he senses that you should only listen. You're not going to start up with him, right? Because you know that this is much, much higher than anything you could get to. And so therefore it is called, he's in a place of Ischalus. He's there, but he automatically feels that it's better not to say anything. It's better to listen. When he moves away, so then he has his own opinion, his own thing what to do. It becomes a, you find this when people come to visit the Rebbe Melcham Mashiach. They're very wise people. Everybody's sitting there listening. Whatever he says, he knows what he's talking about. And not only knows what he's talking about, he knows what I'm thinking also. So that's what's called people. Everybody sort of is together, one big group. Even though when they go home, this is a Rosh Hashiva. Everybody got their but they feel that the greatness of what is there. So it's called hiskadus. Okay, so therefore the light coming into the vessel and will cause that it can't give over the feeling that there's nothing else but the Creator, but it can affect the vessel. The senses that there's something going on over here that's higher than it. And in two ways. There's the light goes into the vessel, and even though it is into the vessel, it's not limited to the vessel. As we said before, we learned before that when the power of sight goes into the eye, so then the eye is, so to speak, limits the power of sight to the eye, because they work together. But on the level of Atzilus, the light which comes into the vessel, okay, it doesn't become, so to speak, trapped in the vessel. It remains removed. As it remains removed. And what means removed? That the vessel senses that it's coming from a higher level. And therefore, even though that the vessel could have its kalus, but it feels, it senses that there's something more. We can come even the higher level of something like dvekus, because the light is inside its vessel. And if senses that the light is above, it's above anything which he could really limit. So therefore, this causes that in the world of Atzilus, that even the vessels are in a way of what's called blima, that even though they're there, but they don't have a sense of, they don't feel themselves separate entity. Whereas after the world of Atzilus, things come into the lower worlds, so then it becomes a possibility of the feeling of separateness. And therefore, until we come to this world, it's where we are dealing with the power of this physicality. The physicality is something which does not feel as though it has a source. So therefore, we come along and we say, take the things in the world, and we say, no, we're going to make a mitzvah out of it. We're going to bring the infinite light into the world. And so therefore, this is the concept here that we're talking in this chapter of the fact to be able to connect the infinite light with the finite light to the world. So we have to have the world in the middle, which is the world of Atzilus, and there we have the combination of the light and vessels. The light is coming from the original source, what's called the ray of the kav, and the vessel is coming from the power of finite, which is called the Rishimo. And therefore, to be able to put the two of them together, the light has to be light, which is which can be able to reveal in the vessel, and the vessel is going to be able to nullify itself to the light, so that in the world of Atzilus, there's only the feeling of the revelation of the Creator. As we'll continue, that afterwards they're going to see that there's going to be this power of Malchus. The power of Malchus is now going to be an opportunity to be able to bring it into a lower level.
So that's the tefillah in regards to the Geulah, to connect with the beginning of what you were saying.
Okay, we're going to start with a few more pieces, and then we'll come.
Okay.
We'll come to the answer. Okay, thank you. And we should be Zoich now to the Geulah Shlema. Together with the Rebbe Melcham Mashiach, Beis Hamikdash, Chi, Amen, 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 Amen.
Amen, 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 amen.